Thanks for coming by. I'm sure you're very anxious to get out on track. It's taken a lot of effort to get to F1. Congratulations. But the real work starts now. This is...
Claire, motorsports journalist. Nice to meet you. You'll be seeing quite a lot of me throughout the season. So, you had a pretty impressive junior career. How are you feeling about your move into F1? Do you think you have what it takes?
Let's save the questions for a proper interview, shall we? I'm sure you'll have a lot more to talk about once there's been some action on track. I think we could fit you in after FP1 if you're free.
That works for me. I'll grab you the second you finish on the track.
Remember, the relationship you have with the team can be affected by what you say to the media. So be careful. Anyway, it's time to catch up with Carl. He's waiting for you in the data center. Good luck out there today.
Welcome to the data center. Here, we've got access to all kinds of information, including car telemetry, weather, lap times, tyre wear, the list goes on. Plus, we've got a direct link back to the factory, so we're in constant communication with the team there. We need you to regularly feedback about areas of the car that are lacking and help us direct our resources in the most productive way. More effort here equals a quicker car, so it's well worth the effort. Good luck this season. Oh, and make us all look good, okay?
Welcome to your new team. Sauber is the kind of team that other privateers aspire to be. No matter the challenges they face, they rise to the occasion and make it out the other side. They need someone who can be consistent, resilient, and determined. And there's no doubt in my mind that you can give them those qualities. Here you can see the pertinent details about your current contract. On one side are the objectives and bonuses that we've negotiated with the team. On the other is information regarding how you're perceived throughout the paddock, your reputation with the current team, and your overall value to them, which is a combination of these elements. Winning rivalries is a great way to earn respect from your team and around the paddock, which will help make it easier to negotiate favorable contracts. Your first rival is always your teammate, but you can choose who to declare as your second. The harder the rival from the eligible selection, the more respect you stand to gain or lose depending on the result.
Welcome to Melbourne, where the practice session is about to start for this weekend's Australian Grand Prix. The pre-race talking is over. Now it's time for the drivers to show their worth. Beside me to take you through free practice today is a man with 3 decades of racing experience under his belt. It is, of course, Anthony Davidson. Thanks for joining us today, Anton. Tell me, where should we be focusing our attention today?
I think we need to be looking across the entire field to see how far these cars are able to push a single set of tyres. While everyone will be trying different setups and running with different fuel loads, if you're attentive enough, you can definitely pick out trends for each type of tyre compound, which will give us a rough idea of how long the drivers are able to stay out there during a stint in the race.
That's fantastic. You obviously have a really good understanding of this circuit.
Good day today. Tell us about it from your perspective. It's been a lot of hard work, but here you are making your debut in Formula One. You must be thrilled. So how are you finding things at the team? Are you settling in? What are you expecting out of this season? Are you just aiming to find your feet in Formula One, or do you see something more? Great! Well, that's everything.
Welcome to Melbourne, where qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix should be getting underway shortly. What kind of setup will drivers be looking for around here? It's got a fair mixture of demanding corners. Is it all about finding the sweet spot in handling balance?
It's easy to make your car quick in a straight line, you just take all the downforce off. But when it comes to a track like this, you really need a bit more of a compromise. The main focus here is carrying speed through the fast-flowing corners, but you still don't want to be a sitting duck on the straight.
Excellent lap. We're really pleased.
The grid is all set then for the race tomorrow. But before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top three, who are Vettel, Hamilton and Kimi Räikkönen. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then. New drivers, new cars and a new Formula One season. But it's the same Albert Park that we've come to know and love for more than 2 decades now that hosts the first round of a 21 race championship, taking us from here in Melbourne, Australia, across the globe before we eventually reach the season finale at Yas Marina Circuit in Abu Dhabi. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 16 corners and 3.3 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles an hour. The close proximity of the barriers makes accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. We have plenty of changes to the sport this year with the addition of new safety features, the return of France and Germany in an expanded 21-race calendar, and more tyre compounds than ever before. And of course, we have some big car manufacturers back in the sport too, with Alfa Romeo and Aston Martin returning as title sponsors for Sauber and Red Bull respectively. Joining me to take you through all the action of the 2018 Formula One season is Anthony Davidson. Great to have you with us.
Thanks, Crofty. Always happy to be here. I'm looking forward to getting underway. Last year was Mercedes' 4th Constructors' title in a row, although for the first half of the season it was absolutely neck and neck with the Ferraris. Hopefully this year we can see the chasing pack take that final step, as I'd love to see a championship contest all the way up to the final race in Abu Dhabi. Another story to keep an eye on is the relative performance of McLaren and Toro Rosso, who have exchanged power unit suppliers this year. And given the additional restrictions on engine components, they need to be strong in terms of both performance and reliability.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Bottas, Daniel Ricciardo and Verstappen, Hülkenberg, Alonso, Magnussen and Roman Grosjean. Perez, Sainz, Virtanen and Ocon, Leclerc, Van Dorn, Pierre Gasly and Lance Stroll, Sirotkin and Brendan Hartley rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
You managed to qualify better than we expected yesterday, so let's do the same again today. passing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can. We're leading our teammate by 6.7 seconds. Expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now. Pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach. Strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Some weather is going to hit in around 5 minutes time, so stay on your toes. The gap to the car ahead is 1.5 seconds. Excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down.
no power.
Yep. Mode 1.
Mate, really? Can I not just go ahead and f***ing care if this engine blows up? May I?
Okay.
Okay.
Stop the car, please, on track, Max. Stop the car, please.
What a f***ing choke all the f***ing time with this shit, honestly. Ah.
Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace. Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until the green flag. VSC ending. Wait for green. Green flag. Okay, be careful on those slicks. These conditions are making the line a bit greasy, but we're still nowhere near the changeover point. Caution, caution.
great win then for the Maranello team today. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
And as we can see, it's time for the podium, and as the drivers make their way out, there's a familiar red suit making its way to the top step. Fantastic win for Ferrari. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Sebastian Vettel takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after that excellent result. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
I have to give it to Brendan Hartley. Consistency, good battle, sensible driving. He can be pleased with that performance.
On to the constructors then. Ferrari move to the top of the table. There'll be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you can join us at the next race to see just who will come out on top.
Amazing performance out there. You must be really happy. You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret? You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you? How do you feel the weather affected the outcome today? You scraped the walls a few times. Were you struggling for grip? Great. Well, that's everything.
Excellent result today. Finishes like that will look good on your contract reviews. On to the next one. We've received invitations to new historic events. You'll be able to choose whether or not to participate before the end of this weekend.